Design and structure of classes. Classes are the building blocks of object-oriented programming. They contain both data, or fields, and instructions, or methods, that carry out tasks. So far, you have only been exposed to classes in a singular sense. The first line of every program you have written creates a class, and all your programs have been written within that class. When you needed to write a new program, you created a new file and named a new class. But what you didn't know is that one class can be just one part of a network of classes working together. At this point, you're familiar with several standard classes but may not be aware of it. Every time you use a string or a math function using a dot operator, i.e. math.random, you are invoking a class created to handle that object. When you use an array, you are also using an object. The int is of a primitive data type, but arrays themselves are a class. These are built-in Java classes, so there's no reason to look inside them to see how the code was written. You've also seen classes integer and double. These classes wrap your primitive data types into objects so that they can have methods to perform tasks. They're part of the Java Lang package. An int is just the raw integer itself, but an integer comes with methods such as equals, compare to, and toString, allowing it to perform its own actions. It even has an int method, and double has a double method, which allows you to typecast back to the primitive data type. Let's look at some other methods that come with integer and double. Integer constructs a new integer object that represents the specified int value. Integer.minValue gives the minimum value represented by an int or integer. Integer max value gives the maximum value represented by an int or integer. Int value returns the value of this integer as an int. Double value constructs a new double object that represents the specified double value, and double value returns the value of this double as a double. Consider this scenario. You're taking a friend out to dinner. What types of workers will you encounter at the restaurant? There will be a hostess, a waiter, a chef, etc. Now consider the tasks and jobs each of these types of workers will perform. Let's map the overall structure of this scenario and use that as a blueprint to write our code. Below is our restaurant, and within it, the various types of workers with the tasks each might perform. Notice the restaurant itself does not perform any tasks. It just holds the classes that will. The types of workers in the restaurant can each be thought of as a class. Their individual tasks and jobs are the methods. What does that make the restaurant itself? That can represent what is called the driver class. It is the entry point into your program so that Java knows where to start. The driver class usually contains the main method. The other classes will create objects and variables that store information and have certain attributes and behaviors. The driver class uses the other classes created for the program. Each class you create will have its own JGrasp file.